think it's pretty undeniable that Smash Ultimate is the biggest Smash Bros. Game in the series. Its roster is massive, its stage list is massive, and it's even got a solid amount of extra modes. However, as you may be able to tell by the lack of the word massive for that last thing, Ultimate's extra mode count could be better. It's certainly decent, Classic mode is easily the best it's ever been, World of Light is pretty good, at least I think so, and there's some others like Home Run Contests, Stage Builders, and Mob Smash. This is only a fraction of the extra modes that have been in the Smash Bros. Series though, as there have been several that were cut between Smash 64, Melee, Brawl, and Smash 4. So today I thought it would be fun to take a look at a few of those extra modes, talk about what they were, and talk about how they could maybe return or why I think they were cut. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel at 100k. Oh, I guess I don't need to say that anymore. Well anyways, let's jump right into our first extra mode from Smash 64. Smash 64 didn't have much, but one thing it and all of its sequels had until Ultimate was the target test mode. Kinda. See, the mode got updated and changed quite significantly between each subsequent release. So in Smash 64 and Melee, each character got their own stage where they would be required to break a certain number of targets by hitting them with one of their attacks. Brawl updated the mode, however, instead of each character having their own stage, likely due to the growing roster size, there are only 5 stages that all characters play on with a varying difficulty. And then in Smash 4, I have no clue what they were thinking, instead transforming the mode into some sort of weird Angry Birds ripoff called Target Blast. But with that said, why was there no form of target test brought over to Ultimate? Well, for one, the roster size is massive, but that shouldn't really be a factor for the Brawl or Smash 4 versions. I mean, all we can really do is guess here, but I'm going to assume they didn't have enough time to make them, especially considering how Stage Builder and another staple mode, Home Run Contest, came in post-launch updates. While I do like Target Test, if it were going to be like the Smash 4 or heck even the Brawl version, then I'm pretty happy we got these two modes instead. But what if we weren't limited and Target Test was brought back? What would it look like? Well, if it ever did return, I'm afraid it would more than likely be in the format of Brawl. With over 80 characters in Ultimate's roster, there's very little chance they would develop a unique stage for every character. There's also very little chance for Target Blast to come back because seriously, who liked that mode? Even still though, I'd really hope for the unique stage per character version. Target Test was a fantastic way to teach players about specific mechanics exclusive to or featured on a character. For example, Young Link's Target Test in Melee acted as a tutorial for using wall jumps. Some of them were just really cool references to a character's source material, like Ice Climber stage looking like a level from the actual Ice Climbers game. Each stage being exclusive for each character also makes it to where you don't have to make sure every character can complete something, and with characters like Ganondorf, there'd have to be a lot of limitations as to where targets could be placed. Plus, even though it would be hard to make exclusive target test stages for every character, it may be a slight bit easier than you'd expect. Now, I know nothing about making games, unless you count Mario Maker 2. But I imagine that as long as they make like 1 or 2 stages, the rest shouldn't be too much more difficult, assuming they just reuse the same assets. I mean sure, nearly 90 stages sounds like a lot, but consider these wouldn't take nearly as much effort as a normal stage to make. They were also able to make 25 target test stages for Melee, despite its infamously tiny 13-month development time. If they had a reasonable amount of time to make the next Smash game, there could be a chance target test could return in its full glory. Our next and final mode from Smash 64 is Board the Platforms. This is actually very similar to Target Test, however unlike it, this mode never left Smash 64. Basically every character got their own stage once again, but instead of trying to hit targets, they have to try and jump onto platforms without dying. While this mode is definitely pretty cool, it is a bit redundant if Target Test exists as well. Personally, I prefer the latter since you can incorporate stuff like projectiles into the stage alongside the platforming, but that doesn't mean I'm necessarily against this mode ever making a comeback. Unlike Target Test though, there's absolutely no way this could work with a shared stage for every character. It basically just turned into one of those what characters can cross the gap challenge videos, except every single character in the game can make it easily except for Little Mac, which would require a small bit more effort. So yeah, priority goes to Target Test returning, but if they really have extra time, then they can make Board the Platforms. Though I think I'd rather have something like a brand new Echo Fighter than this entire mode returning if I'm being honest. Onto some of the modes in Melee, we have 2 that I would argue are still somewhat in Ultimate, however they're changed drastically from their counterparts from this game. First, let's take a look at Melee's Adventure Mode. Now of course Ultimate has its own Adventure Mode in the form of World of Light. A lot of people though don't really like it. Personally I think it was pretty good, at least better than Melee's Adventure Mode, but I can understand why some people thought it was a bit disappointing after seeing Brawl's Adventure Mode. World of Light has a bunch of battles laid out on a map where you had to fight against several different spirits in standard Smash matches that have gimmicks relating to that character. Melee's Adventure adventure mode was completely different. Instead of being a multiple hour campaign, you could beat this relatively quickly, like 10 minutes quickly. This is a set series of stages or battles based on the world of the characters on the Smash roster. Sure, some of them are pretty similar to Spirit fights like round 2 against the small DKs or stage 5 against the Kirby Horde, but some of them are fully developed levels based on certain locations. Take stage 1 for example, which is a platformer stage based on the Mario series. I do think for the time this mode was pretty neat, however World of Light is just much more in depth, so I enjoy it more. While we're on the topic of adventure mode though, we might as well look at the subspace emissary from Brawl. This tells an actual story with several cutscenes of the characters all interacting with each other. This also features side-scrolling levels like Melee did, so this is a definite improvement. Ultimate does have cutscenes in World of Light, heck they even have voice acting which is really cool, except there's like 4 of them total. Plus Mario dies in one of them, which is so not awesome. My ideal story mode for the Smash series would sort of be a massive combination of all 3 we've seen over the course of Smash's history. I'd obviously want it to tell a story with several cutscenes to get to know the characters like in Brawl, but I'd also like for it to feature voice acting like Ultimate did, and I'd like the story to be more focused on the worlds of the characters combining together like an Ultimate and Melee, rather than the mostly original locations and characters in Brawl. I just greatly prefer the story of a game like this to be about the worlds coming together. Our next mode for Melee to focus on here is Event Mode. These are basically a set of battles that would have unique conditions to either base it on something or make it really challenging. This was present in Melee, Brawl, and Smash 4, though most of my footage is going to be taken from Smash 4 since that's the only one I can record. Melee and Brawls were just sort of a list of battles that you could try and complete, whereas Smash 4 was more of a massive web of events. These are all really cool in their own ways. However, despite me saying that this mode technically isn't an ultimate, we did basically get a replacement for it in the form of the Spirit battles. These are also fights that include unique conditions, however these are purely focused on referencing stuff from a character's home series. Personally, I greatly prefer Spirits. I mean, I've made like 3 trillion videos about them, you all probably could have guessed that by now, but there were a few things about Event Mode that I did like. For one, the event matches could make it to where you have to play a specific character, making some of the references better and opening up for a few more opportunities. Secondly, sometimes having Spirits attached to your character can make Spirit battles far too easy. While those are certainly downsides, I think the positives far outweigh the negatives. Spirit battles allow for significantly more battles. I mean, compare the over 1,000 battles in Ultimate to Melee's 51 events. Spirits are also used to represent the history of the franchises featured in Smash, which is what I think the series should be all about. While I'm sure some prefer event matches, I'm personally okay with just having Spirit battles. While we're on the topic of Spirits, they replaced more than just event battles as they also act as replacements for trophies. This I'm a lot more disappointed about. Trophies were really cool as not only did they give us a mostly uniquely modeled, trophy for several different characters and objects, but they also gave us descriptions for each one, even providing some of the games that thing was featured in. Spirits are much lamer in that department, just reusing old artwork of characters without even bothering to give us descriptions. While I do understand them not wanting to make a model for every trophy anymore, a description at least would have been nice. I really enjoyed reading those in Smash 4. Really all Spirits have over trophies is how they're unlocked, which is why I'm talking about them at all. Over the course of the series, there have been several ways trophies have been unlocked, so let's run through a few of them. In Melee, you could spend money at a trophy lottery to randomly get one from the game's selection. In Brawl, you had the coin launcher mode, which would use coins to shoot at trophies to obtain them. Finally, Smash 4 had Trophy Rush, which had a ton of objects fall on the player which they would need to destroy in order to get trophies. While these were some fun distractions, I again prefer Ultimate's approach of having the Spirit battles unlocked with battles based on the Spirit. Plus, I have repressed trauma from Trophy Rush because I was never able to do this one challenge in it where you had to get 8 fevers using Dr. Mario. Don't worry though, gamers. I was finally able to do it while getting footage. On to Smash 4 since Brawl didn't really have anything we didn't already mention. First we're going to start with truly the most tragic loss from the transition to Ultimate, Street Smash. This used the 3DS's Street Pass feature to have you fight against other people. Not in the main Smash mode though, this had you use like circle things with your character's profile picture to knock people off a board. Yeah, this was a really strange mode, but since it's not like anything else, I wouldn't cry if it returned, though it's still kinda stupid. Okay, the other Smash 3DS exclusive mode is actually really good though. Some even go as far to say it's the best extra mode in the Smash series. Personally, I think Ultimate's classic mode is better, but this is still pretty solid. This basically had you go against 3 other players or CPUs as you travel through a side-scrolling area to defeat as many enemies as possible in order to get stat boosts. You would do this for 5 minutes, and at the end you would all have to fight against each other in some sort of randomly selected challenge using the stats you collected. This could be anything from a simple fight to a race to a finish line. This was incredibly unique and I had a fun time with it. However, there were some problems that held it back from being truly great. For one, it could only be played locally. No online play allowed, which was incredibly dumb because this would have been fantastic online. Secondly, the final challenge being randomly selected did get a bit annoying since it could greatly reward only one of the several types of stat boosts. So maybe having the option to either make the final challenge random, a vote, or chosen at the start would have been nice. Now, as for why I think this mode stayed on the 3DS, I'm guessing it's because they thought it wouldn't work well with multiple players playing on the same screen. But of course, there's always online, so Nintendo could absolutely make this work for Ultimate. Since there's nothing really like it, I could see it possibly returning in a future game. Now, the Wii U wasn't completely abandoned when it came to having an extra mode like Smash Run, as it had its replacement for it, Smash Tour. This was a very popular and dearly loved, just kidding, everyone hated this mode. Basically, you played a board game with your Miis and you had to collect fighters and stat boosts on the board before fighting each other using what fighters you collected at the end of the game. The problem with this mode was that there was just far too little fighting in it. You only fight if you land on the same space as someone else or if you land on a battle space. This mode is just boring. It's a worse Mario Party, but not like a good Mario Party like Mario Party Superstars. No, it's worse than Mario Party 10. Personally, I will never miss this mode, and I doubt others will as well. Oh, and did I mention that the final mode is a time battle, not even a stock battle? So collecting multiple fighters is basically worthless if you can't use them to KO people? Yeah, this mode just sucked. Luckily, Smash for Wii U wasn't totally rid of good extra modes, as it also had Master and Crazy Orders. First, let's take a look at Master Orders. Basically, you'd given a list of 3 different objectives ranging in difficulty, and you'd have to choose one of them to try and complete. These could be anything from battles with unique conditions like Ultimate Spirits, or it could even be certain score-based modes like Home Run Contest or Target Blast. Completion of an order would reward the player with one of Smash 4's many collectibles. This was a really fun way to collect all of the custom moves and whatever else in the game. It felt different every time you played it, so I would love to see this return. However, I do think there's a reason why it hasn't. Unlike Smash 4, which had trophies, custom moves, and more, Smash Ultimate doesn't really have that many collectibles. Anything you get in this game basically relates to the Spirit mode, so this was likely the reason it was cut, because there wouldn't be much incentive to play it. Personally, that really hurts me. I love Spirit Battles, but Master Orders were really cool as well. Maybe the next game will have more collectibles to justify this making a return. Of course, that wasn't the only special order, as there was also Crazy Orders. Now, you might expect that these would just be harder versions of Master Orders, and while that's true to an extent, this version is actually quite different. You are once again given 3 orders where you have to try and complete one of them. However, this time your damage carries over between battles, with 33% of it being healed between them, and you have to do as many fights as you can within 10 minutes without losing. At the end, assuming you haven't lost, you have to fight against Crazy Hand in a stamina battle. Other characters, including Master Hand, may even join Crazy Hand depending on how many turns you went in the mode. In order to get every single reward from the orders, you have to beat Crazy Hand without losing at all. I also really like this bit on the mode, and I think it shows off a great way special orders could make their way into the next Smash game. Maybe instead of being based on giving the player rewards, maybe the mode could sort of be based on getting a high score where you attempt to complete as many orders as you can without losing. I remember Crazy Orders always being a blast to play through, and it really did get super tense as you went on. Besides maybe Target Test, this is the mode I'd probably want to see come back the most, as it was just an easy one to pick up and play at any time. But the mode that hurts the most is one that's still technically an Ultimate. Ever since Super Smash Bros. Melee, this mode has been one of the most popular and well-known in the series, and that is AllStar mode. In every single Smash game since Melee up until Ultimate, this would be a battle against all of the characters on the roster put in order of their original game's release. Your percent would carry over between fights, so you would have to strategically use the very few healing items you have in the rest area between matches. Planning out when to use these healing items was such an integral part of what made this mode fun. Figuring out if you wanted to risk the next battle and save the heal for after, or go in completely refreshed, is one of the reasons this mode was so interesting. In Ultimate, though, they completely butchered it. Now All-Star mode is just a sub-mode of Mob Smash. Instead of having several different fights, now you just have one single fight where each of the fighters get launched incredibly easily, and the new fighter will just spawn in to replace the other. This takes away so much of what made the original All-Star mode so much fun, the strategy aspect. Now it's just become a mash forward smash simulator, which is really not fun. I've barely touched this mode at all. This is especially sad because Ultimate is the Smash game you'd expect to have a stronger emphasis on its All-Star mode. This is the Smash game about bringing every past fighter back, so with the roster this big and in depth, All-Star mode should have easily been the best it's ever been. Genuinely, I'm shocked that this mode had so little focus put on it. If none of the other modes come back to Smash, at the very least, bring this one back to its former glory. And also, I'm not kidding, I just discovered while getting footage for this video that there's not even a definitive end. The fighters just loop endlessly. Come on, I'm begging you, Smash team, please fix All-Star mode. But anyways, that's it for this video. Are you all mad at me for not even bothering to mention Coin Smash, the greatest way to play in the series? Let me know in the comments. I know this video was much shorter than my normal outputs, but I'm spending a lot of my time right now working on the Mario Odyssey Moon ranking. If you did enjoy this video regardless though, a like would be greatly appreciated. But anyways, dry bones for Smash, and I'll see you guys next time.